Okay. We can do this. Come on, head in the game, head in the game, head in the game. Don't swear, don't swear, don't swear. Okay, guys. So welcome to Dante Don't Care. So I'm taking a little bit of a new approach to informative content, and that is that I don't really have a solid script. I have some bullet points. I kind of just want to have fun with it. I don't want to sound like a robot and like read everything off. There are gonna be parts that I do read off, and yeah. So I did want to start with the script, but then I was like, oh no. So I do have like a good starting line, and I kind of want you guys' opinion on this line. So it goes, honey badgers are rejoicing as Pokemon is now patenting capturing creatures and trying to completely gatekeep it. So Dante might have finally escaped for the last time. Boom, boom. That's pretty smart. That's pretty smart. My whole thing is that I escape for every stream. That's pretty smart. So if you don't know, now you know. It's pretty smart. So let me know what you think about that intro. Woo. Anyways, so then I said these patents don't protect innovation, they choke it. And if older games did what Nintendo's doing now, Pokemon wouldn't exist. And we might talk about that. Maybe we won't. Like I said, there's not a script. So I might go on tangents. I might completely forget about that line. Hey, dude, that's just life, dude. We're Dante, don't care. We don't care. We're a honey badger. We're vibing. So. I kind of want to talk about, as you, if you haven't noticed yet, is the Pokemon patents, kind of like trying to shut down Palworld, going after Palworld, who are now Pokemon's biggest competition. Whoa, competition, we love it. Oh. Anyways. Um, so to start off, we're gonna talk about what is patents and also what is copyright and why didn't they copyright strike it? Because looking at other people talking about this, I feel like a lot of stuff is kind of getting missed, and the people are kind of or celebrating it, and they don't fully understand what's going on and what this means for the game industry, indie devs in general, the small guy, the big companies, stepping on the small guys. Oh, I've been kind of looking into game dev, and I want to make my own games. So this is potentially very bad for your boy. So that's why I took a bit of extra interest in it, researched it, and I was like, hey, people are missing quite a lot of stuff here, quite a lot of stuff. So copyright, what is copyright? Copyright basically protects the expression of an idea, not the idea itself. So in other words, an electric rat named Pikachu, that's an expression. An electric rat, a yellow electric rat, is an idea, but making it Pikachu, the lines, the black little ears, the black tail, I think pointed, you know what I'm talking about. That is your expression of the idea. Palworld can make their own little yellow electric rat, and that's perfectly fine. You can't copyright that because it's a different expression. Otherwise, the first person that made a dragon would be like, hey, you can't make no dragons, bruh. So once again, Pokeballs, catching something in an object or a ball, that's an idea. Your expression of it is a Pokeball. Your expression of it is a Palsphere. Two different expressions. It doesn't fall under copyright. Hence why Pokemon didn't copyright. Now, what is a patent? A patent is basically, I'm gonna read this to you guys so I don't screw this up because it's a little bit more confusing. A patent is a legal right granted by a government to an inventor, giving them exclusive rights to make, use, sell, and license their invention for a limited time, usually 20 years from the filing date. So patents are not really for game mechanics. They are more for big inventions. So hey, if I made a engine that runs on water, I obviously spend a lot of time researching, spending a bunch of money buying the components and stuff, and sinking a bunch of money into something that I might have not even invented. So therefore, when I do figure it out, I basically get monopoly on that invention for 20 years. And how it usually works is then you have to explain to the government and share how it works. So you basically have your own invention, I mean the monopoly on it for 20 years, but now also people can now look at how it works and start making their versions of it. And then as soon as the patent drops, they can sell discounted versions. A big reason for this as well is obviously if I make a water engine and I spend, you know, millions of dollars researching it, I'm trying to get a net positive. Where like if I figured it out and then Joe across the street looks at my blueprints and he's like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna make that and sell it for half the price, then obviously I'm not gonna get a net return, and it would make it so that people that invent stuff do not want to invent stuff. Now, the problem here with game mechanics is that it doesn't take that much time to figure these things out. And once again, it also needs to hit 3 criteria. So this is also the big gray area with game mechanics, and why it's kind of hard to patent them, and why I think that Palworld really stands a chance at beating these patents. I don't know if I'm all over the place. I probably am. Maybe I should explain what they were first. So anyways, there's 3 criteria that you need to hit to patent something, which is novelty. You need to hit all 3, by the way. The invention must be new. It cannot have been publicly known, used, published, or patented before the patent application date. Non-obviousness. The invention must not be obvious to a person skilled in the relevant field based on existing knowledge or prior art. In other words, it must show some inventive creativity beyond what's already known. And then utility. The invention must be useful or have some practical application. It must do something functional or solve a technical problem. Now, a lot of, or like the 2 main patents that we're going to talk about that actually forced Palworld to change stuff. Obviously, they haven't admitted to being wrong. They just changed it so that they can keep their game on Steam store, keep selling it, keep working on it, instead of needing to pull it off the shelves and basically, you know, fight this battle, and then if they win, put it out. So they're making the right moves here, and we're really going to talk about what moves they could make as well, with what I'm kind of expecting them to do regarding one of these patents. The other patent is it's a little tough, honestly. So let's go over the 2 patents, and then we will talk about the criteria, if they're hitting them, kind of counter them a little bit. So they have a pretty wordy description, like they're very confusing. So I have a description here, and then below that I wrote how it works. Well, I basically got ChatGPT to tell me, because yeah, boy's a honey badger. I ain't figuring this shit out. I needed some help deciphering this shit, because this is not English. Anyways, sorry for swearing. I'll censor that. We'll censor that. So we got patent number 122-46255. Abstract. I don't know what that means. I don't know why we put abstract there. I'm not the smartest tool in the shed, but I did my research. I did my due diligence. Trust my words here. In an example of a game program, a groundboarding target object or an airboarding target object is selected by a selection operation, and a player character is caused to board the selected boarding target object. If the player character aboard the airboarding target object moves towards the ground, the player character is automatically changed to the state where the player character is aboard the ground boarding target object, and brought into the state where the player character can move on the ground. So if that doesn't make sense to you yet, essentially how it works is you select either a ground-based ride or a air-based one, like a flying creature or a glider. Your player character boards the ride. If you're flying and descend toward the ground in the game, automatically detects, or the game automatically detects the transition and switches your mount from an air-based to a ground-based one. So in other words, the gliding patent, the thing that we had to change with the gliding, or that they had to change with the gliding. Essentially what this means is they patent a smooth transition. So instead of, you know, needing to press a button to go from, you know, gliding to ground, you get an automatic transition from gliding to ground, and you can instantly run on the ground. The problem with this is that this is a very obvious step. Like we said, it's obvious for anybody in the relevant field that this is just the next step. You know, we have, you know, going from flying to ground, making that automatic is just an obvious step. You know, it's not groundbreaking. It's a very simple thing to code as well. It's just extra hitboxes that just detect the ground. I'm not gonna go too into that type of stuff, but just know that it's fairly fairly obvious. And then obviously, novelty, is it something that's new? Not really. We see it with like Fortnite gliders. There's a lot of like gliding that kind of did automatically do it. I guess what they're trying to do here is to be like, oh, but it's an object that's not a glider, or like I don't know, because it does say object here, so it could be, you know, well, yeah, well, their version is an animal as well. So I don't know. It's a bit of a weird thing. It kind of doesn't hit two of those criteria. Utility, of course, yes, it solves a problem. Now, for a workaround, what Palworld can do that would be super duper fun is bring back gliding with pals, but then just make it manual. So now if you dismount or get close to the ground, you have a little thing that pops up on your screen that's like press space. If you do the timing right, you go into a slide or you go into a second jump glide. And if you do it incorrectly, you take damage and, you know, you dismount from it. So in that way, it's not an automatic thing. It is a result of taking damage that stops your gliding, or, you know, you go into a slide by, you know, manually pressing a button. You make it manual and then you can have your glide. The thing that they're basically patenting is just the automatic swapping, which once again, that is just obvious. It's just the next step in what should be done. It's a little, I don't think it's hard to explain. I think that should make fairly, that's the explanation. It's obvious, and it's not super new. Gliders did it in Fortnite, then I think before they patented it. But obviously this comes from a parent patent, so they could kind of been like, oh well, we have surf in our earlier Pokemon games, and if you get to an edge, it automatically, you know, takes you off of surf, and then, you know, you're on the land. Woo. So that could be what they're also kind of trying to do with that, being like, oh well, we did this with fucking Soul Silver, bruh. And then, you know, it's basically just, I feel like Pokemon has like a team of people. Oh my god, my eyes tweaked out. That can go sit down and kind of do these word gymnastics to make something that is very simple, very basic feel novel, I guess. Like try and like make it like, oh well, this is our thing. Regardless of I don't think it has any ground. I just genuinely don't. There's going to be a lot of examples for Palworld. I didn't list too many of them. I didn't actually look into it because at first I thought this was just gliding with monsters. So there's quite a few examples of it. I mean, there are examples of automatically getting off your mount. I think the Pathless does it, but that's after the patent. But regardless of, it just shows that it is in other artworks and stuff. But here we go into the next one, and this one is the one that people think is really gonna hit Palworld, and it already changed how they are summoning. I believe it's this patent that changed that you can't throw a thing to summon it. But I think I cracked the code with this one. I have an example that predates the patent. Because essentially what they're trying to do, well, let me read it and I'll explain it to you. So in a first mode, an aiming direction in a virtual space is determined based on a second operation input. So basically, you know, in your first mode, you get to aim with your right stick, and a player character is caused to launch in the aiming direction an item that affects a field character disposes of. Oh my god, like this is what I say. It's not English. Disposed on a field in the virtual space based on a third operation input. La da 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 da. Essentially what they're trying to say is, hey, we made this thing. It has two modes. In your first mode, you get to aim and throw stuff, you know, like an item or a ball. This will interact with whatever you're aiming with in this 3D space. And then in a second mode, swapping obviously to your Pokemon and whatever, you can, you know, aim and shoot a Pokemon and it will appear where you aim. And if it hits a opponent character, it also starts a battle. That's essentially what this patent is describing. Now, what this has resulted in is obviously Palworld had to remove the ability to summon a Pal where you throw the Pal Sphere with this patent. Now, funny enough, or like here, let's quickly just go into what this patent covers. This will explain it a bit easier. You use a control input like a joystick or a mouse to aim in the virtual world. When you press a button, the third operation, your character launches an item toward a target on the field. This item affects a field character, basically something like a Pokemon or an NPC on the game field. Example, throwing a Pokeball or a special item that influences a creature object, like I said. You again, and then in a second mode, you pick a direction. Pressing the action button causes a character to launch a fighting character instead of an item. This fighting character presumably fights on your behalf after being launched. Example, summoning by blah blah blah. So pretty much exactly what I said. Yeah, so this is where patents get a little bit confusing, and from my research I could not get super duper clear answers on how this works, because they are basically putting two. This is another thing that you can't do, according to what I've done. Actually, I have looked in. You can't take two existing ideas and put them into one thing and be like, oh, this is a new idea. That's not how it works. So like, for example, throwing an object and summoning something has been done in Bakugan Battle Brawlers on the PS2, where you throw your Bakugan. It quite frankly also interacts with a character like a Pokeball would. If it hits something, it does damage to it. It can interact with other stuff in the space, like collecting coins and stuff. And then if it does land on a card or hit a opposing Bakugan, it starts going into a battle. Now, there's also other ways of implementing this, which is in a lot of shooter games where, you have one mode for shooting, a second mode for, throwing an object like a grenade. And in some of those shooter games, you also have the ability to throw an object, switching to a different mode to throw an object like a turret or something like that, which is summoning a creature to fight with you. Now, obviously, I don't know how this would stand in court. There would be defenses against it. But the big one that cracks this is novelty. It needs to be something new that's never been done before, and it needs to not be obvious. Now, both those things get cracked by a little something called Pixelmon on Minecraft. 13 years ago, people already did this whole 3D space thing, where in one mode you get to summon a Pokemon, and in the other mode you get to pick between your numbers at the bottom to, throw Pokeballs and catch Pokemon. Funny enough, they also had the feature, and I'll put this on screen for you guys, off of somebody's Let's Play, where you quite literally get to throw your Pokemon and summon it where it lands. This is not novel. This is a basic idea with any summoner, and unfortunately for Pokemon, the fact that they let stuff like Temtem and Nexon run is also proof that this is not non-obvious. The next step for these games, if you were to code any of these games into a 3D space, they would also work the same with throwing a character and summoning it, throwing a card and summoning it. I just don't see this holding in the patent. It's obviously going to be a long back and forth, blah, yada yada, he said, she said, kindergarten fight. But from what I've done, my research is that these things will just not be able to hold up. I genuinely think that Palworld wins this if they just, keep fighting. Especially if they know about Pixelmon, because that quite literally takes away the novelty and obvious spectrum. I mean, criteria. If a dang Minecraft modder can mod your game in a 3D space, I'm gonna assume it's quite obvious, like that mechanic, because what they're trying to do is they can't, copyright it. They can't just do, throwing something and summoning it, or throwing something and catching it, because those are ideas. They've been in shows. They also can't do like, adding more members to your party after a fight, because there's games that date a decade before Pokemon that this Dragon Quest did this. Dragon Quest has a PC system where you can have more characters outside of your party. And if Dragon Quest went and basically patent that shit, no Pokemon. How would you have a creature collector if you can't collect things? So that's kind of what I said at the start. Like, there are games that came before Pokemon that if they patented their stuff, which I don't really think they knew they could do back then, would have stopped this game from existing. And another example of like a game genre that would have been killed by patents is fighting games. If the first person that figured out how to make frames and frame advantages work in a fighting game, which is, that is an insane thing to figure out. Like I don't know how they sat down and thought of like, hey, I'm gonna have this attack do 14 frames and it's active for 10 frames, and you know it has a hitbox and it extends the hitbox. These are like actual crazy, like next level minds to create this stuff. And if they went and patented that shit, like half of the fighting games would not exist until 20 years later, obviously, because the way the patents work is they do expire. They only protect it for a period of time. So on the flip side, at least, Pokemon can only really, you know, patent this idea for like, you know, 10, 20 years. And then, you know, it's free for everybody. So, you know, 2045 for sure, for sure. Palworld can exist as it does now, but I think that if they keep fighting, um, they can beat it. But obviously, you can just make other. There are workarounds. Like I said, if you make it a manual thing, you can bring back gliding. You just have to land manually. Now, before we finish, I'm gonna try to do something. I don't know how this is gonna work out. Because I did not set this up before the stream. Like I said, we joloing. I want to close off this. Yep, that should be good. And then we go, oh, fuck, I just hit my camera. This was not smart of me, bro. Oh, we just DC'd. Oh, well, who cares? No. Is it ING? Who are the people? Polka. I can't see my keyboard at all, bros. This is not good. Maybe I like leave and come back. Set it all up. Well, you know, we can always just edit this out. We just edit it out. Pokemon Palworld comparisons. IGN. Here we go. Now I just need to set up my window capture thingy. Palworld. Yeah. Woo. Yeah, dude, we fucking did it. Whoa, it's behind me, isn't it? How does this even work again? Okay, so if I do this, hey, yo, bros, I can low-key bring back Dante. It actually isn't working too bad. Nah, but like, actually it is. I have my camera like right square in my face. Otherwise, it tweaks out so much worse than it is right now. And it's just not a vibe. So I actually, unfortunately, and I absolutely wish, I did not look at any of this beforehand. Wait, let me quickly see here. Window capture is way too big for some reason. I absolutely wish that I didn't look into this beforehand. Because I unfortunately did. Look into this a little bit. Now I'm not gonna full screen this, so bear with the little purple, you know, bar. I did kind of skim through it. I just need to see if I can find it. Is it here? Is it here? No, I don't know where the thing was then. Oh, here we are. View all 38 images. Now, I looked into this a bit and I was laughing so hard at this stuff. I wish I should have set up my second monitor. It is chill. One of my monitors broke and I just got it back. All right, let's pretend we edit this. If I don't edit it, you know, who the fuck cares? I need to stop swearing, bro. I don't know if I'm even gonna edit it out, honestly. It's me, bro. I looked at some of these and I did find it quite funny. Like, I think there's like 2 or 3 in here that I'm kind of like, okay, you know what? I can see it. I can see the inspiration or the copying even. But a lot of them just aren't. So like, for example, I'm not gonna read all of this, bro. But like, these two are just not the same thing. These are basically, this is a lion man. This guy is whoever the fuck this guy is. Obviously, left side is a pal, right side is a Pokemon, different paws, blah blah blah. Not the same thing. Here we go. Once again, like I said, copyright and how it works is that this is your expression of an electric rat. This is their expression of an electric rat. Obviously, Pikachu. Wait, he has no black thing on his tail, bruh. I thought he did. Anyways, Pikachu is iconic. We all know this. Pikachu. Everybody loves Pikachu. You just do. It's part of your childhood. There's just no way that you're gonna say that Pikachu is better than Sparkit is better than Pikachu. But like, this design is pretty sick. I really much like this design. The little furry, you know, neck thing. It's just very cool. Very cool from Palworld. Very awesome. This one here I laughed at Dude, I wish I didn't look into them. This is basically just a fox. I looked into like fennec fox, fennec fox. This is basically just a fennec fox, kind of, sort of like the big ears. They made him a bit more red, put fire. It's not like a crazy idea. Comparing Charmander's tail, which is like putting a tail on fire, is also not a unique idea. So many people have done that. And Vulpix is a kitsune. I'm not gonna search it up. I'm not gonna search up everything. Maybe I'll just pop it up on screen if I do edit the video. Vulpix. It is Vulpix. Vulpix is just a kitsune, and it literally has, like, I think an evolution called Kitsune. I do not know all the Pokemons. I know these two. So if I do mess up some, my bad. If I call something one thing and it's something else, please forgive. Please forgive. This is funny to me. This is just a penguin. Both of these are just penguins. Like I said, once again, the copyright thing. This is the face, which, I feel some type of way about the smile, but like also I can assume the Palworld, Palmon, the fuck is it called? Whatever the fuck. It is Palworld, right? Palworld. Oh my god, bro. Palmon. They're obviously inspired by Pokemon. Like there's no lying here. We're not gonna pretend like they don't like Pokemon. They don't know what Pokemon is. This could just be an Easter egg. I recently played Expedition 33, where they have Easter egg to Final Fantasy 7, and they say that they love Final Fantasy, and you can tell that it is inspired by Final Fantasy. It gives a lot of Final Fantasy type vibes. This could just be that. This could have just been a little Easter egg, and obviously now their giant, their idol is coming after them, bro, and it's quite sad, actually, in my opinion. So I kind of think this was just a nod to Snorlax. And the couple pals that look like Pokemon, I kind of think are the same type of a thing. Is where you might have a dev that said, man, I love this Pokemon. I want to put my version of it in Palworld. And once again, like I said, it's an expression. So I could quite literally take this fella, like his face, his head, whatever the hell, and make my version of it. As long as it doesn't look like Snorlax, I don't call it Snorlax. It doesn't have the same moveset as Snorlax, the same story as Snorlax. It's my expression of the character, and it's perfectly fine to do. This here, I looked into this one. I googled this. This is basically just the, I said Alice in Borderland, Alice in Wonderland cat. That's what this is. You can't tell me differently. Also, I really dislike these types of mouths on characters, like these ones that don't work. I don't know why. It just annoys me, bro. Compared to like these mouths that work. This is a scared fish. These aren't the same thing at all. This is a stretch to me. The only thing you can kind of say is the same is maybe the eyes and the mouth, which is most likely what they're gonna say, right down to the way the mouth hangs open. To the only difference is it has teeth on both the top and the bottom, where Slowpoke. That's not the only difference, bro. This is a fucking fish, dude. Like he has a fin. This one's a sharp tail. There's so many differences. This is like, once again, just a different expression. Even if they did base it off of this, it has changed so much that, even if we were to black this out to just silhouettes, it doesn't have the same silhouette. You know what I mean? It's just way different. This year, another stretch, a crown, apparently, a fork. I just thought this is funny. Unfortunately, I don't have my laughing reactions. Obviously, this little thing, but this is just like not royalty, but like, I guess, royalty properness. This one gives me more Butler vibes. This one obviously gives me a king in his fat little outfit. Love it. Love to see it. This is just a zebra, and then this one is like so fucking different. I don't understand why they thought like, oh yeah, we got them on this one. Like, this one should not be on the fucking list. This one is so incredibly different that it's a joke to compare them. Being like, oh, we have an electric zebra, you have an electric horse or zebra, whatever the fuck this is. The tail, like, I like this tail more than this tail. I think this guy should have, like, this should be connected, because zebras have like a mohawk, I think that would have been looking cooler. I like this guy. I don't like. I believe it's probably better quality than this in the game. Actually, maybe this person has low graphics. Um, but I like this guy a little bit more. It's a bit more unique. This is basically just a zebra, and then we gave him some blue, and we made his stuff more spiky electric vibes. And this is like full on just fantasy. We gave him some head armor. He's got a big ass horn, spikes, you know, electric tail. In my opinion, this one is, I guess, I don't know. They're both cool. This one also I just thought was stupid. This is obviously, both of these are based off of Robin Hood, obviously. They're little archer guys. This guy is a full-on owl with a makeshift bow. This guy, I don't know. I've not played with him, I don't think. I've played Palworld. I've beaten Palworld in like its earlier stages. They've updated a bunch of stuff. I don't remember what the fuck this guy does. I don't think I ever used him. I don't really like his style at all. But this character is way different to this character. It's just, it's such a stretch. It is such a stretch. This one I laughed at so hard because I actually know these two. And this is a psychic one, and I think you use this one to breed on Pokemon, which is why I know about it. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm tripping it up, or it's him or like an alien one. But anyways, this is a psychic Pokemon, and for some reason I know that. I don't remember why I needed to farm it or do something with it, but I just have a vivid memory of just having a bunch of these, or like if there was a unevolved version. And this one I also have a vivid memory about, because this guy you chuck on your shoulder and you shoot explosive eggs, and he's basically a creeper. It's just so different. It's just two completely different play styles, different looking characters. They're basically just saying this color scheme, which is also like not that crazy of a color scheme. It's pretty, I wouldn't say popular, but a pretty basic color scheme. I think it kind of gives me like tiki vibes, or like Africa type vibe, Africa color scheme type vibes. That's kind of what this gives me. Or just kind of crazy colors. But like I'm pretty sure I've seen this way too many times, and not just on these two things. Now here comes the funny one, and this shit I laughed at so hard. This is a fucking toucan. They're trying to be like, yo, bro. They're copying this fucking Pokemon. That is just a toucan. This Pokemon, dude, we're gonna fucking search up toucan real quick, bro. Tell me, dude. Tell me that Pokemon isn't just a fucking toucan, bro. Look at this shit. Oh, fuck. What is the difference between, like, what? How is this any different to a fucking regular toucan, bro? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if like there's a toucan that looks exactly fucking like this in the world, bro. The blue fucking legs, the white. The only difference is like this little piece here. And this is a full-on blue eyeball even. So, this is just a toucan, bro. Like, calm the fuck on. This is just the funniest example to use. I just thought that was hilarious, bro. Anubis, this is just, once again, this is an obvious design. Also, Anubis is an Egyptian god. And then, you know, if we go to League of Legends, which I'm not going to type because I can't see my keyboard, we have Nasus. This is just, it's just, once again, such a stretch, bro. It is such a stretch. It's like the equivalent of, you know, if people got mad about Wukong being in games. Like, oh, why does League of Legends have Wukong? And Smite has Wukong, and Wukong game has Wukong, and, you know, Pokemon has Charmander. Not, fuck. You know, the Fire Monkey, which is obviously based off of Wukong. You can't tell me that it's not based off Wukong. It's definitely based off Wukong. I don't care what who says. It's Wukong. Let me check. Fire Monkey Pokemon. Fire Monkey. I can't type. I can't see my stuff. Pokemon. I thought he had a crown for some reason, which would have definitely told it. It's still giving me Mega Wukong vibes. It just is. Like the whole gold stuff. I genuinely think. What is the name of the fire? Chimchar. Chimchar. I think Chimchar is a small one though. Chimchar. Anyways, I'm not gonna click on any of these sites. Grisbolt is obviously just a grizzly bear, electric bear. I can see some comparisons, but I don't like. You can look at this guy, look at his name, and you notice a grizzly bear that's electric type. Electabuzz on the other hand, what the fuck is this thing? You know what I mean? It is not really. It's a something. It's a yellow. It's a black and yellow something, bro. It is not based off of nothing. It got alien little things here. It's just a little monster, just a little Pokemon. This one I thought, like, this one I actually, like, got a little upset at when I saw this. These are not the same at all. This has, like, this little furry thing, because bees are, like, little hairy fellas. Ooh. So, you know, we give them a little bit of fur here. You know what I mean? God, this is taking forever to get through, bro. Fuck me. I'm over it. Anyways. I'm over it, guys. I'm over it. If I was to make my own version of a bee Pokemon, I would copy this. You're just like I said earlier with copyright, how copyright works. You can take this hive idea, hive dress at the bottom idea, and I would have given them an ability where bees come out of the hive. So like I would, instead of that, I would have like a dress like this, and have a full-on hive pattern, and then have like regular bees come out of it. That'd be so sick. Don't know how you would do that. Or how to make that look nice and flashy, but you know, I'd figure that shit out and it would look awesome. It would be lovely. This one here, I'd see this. Okay, this one ain't beating the allegation. Obviously, a lot of it's different, but the main body shape is very similar. You can be nitpicky and be like, oh, well, the hands are different, but it obviously has the same kind of this shape. It does have a different horn and wings, but once again, it's a different expression of this head shape and body shape. It's a different color. It kind of dodges anything that it needs to dodge. It is once again its own thing. At the end of the day, it is not this thing. This is just not the same thing at all. At the end of the day, so it's not a copyrightable thing. It is its own thing. This one not the same at all. I'm not even gonna go into it. It's just not the same thing at all. These ones, when I saw this, I was like, yeah, but no. It is completely a different direction. It's kind of just this shape type of a thing. And like this is obviously based off a shark. I wouldn't really say this is based off a shark. That I would say this is based off an eel. No, I don't know, but like it's just its own thing. It's got like a different spike here. It's got its own shapes. It's got its own boots. It's got a different tail. It's got wings instead of like this is very shark inspired, right? It's hammerhead shark vibes, all these things. This is just not that. This is different. This is its own thing. And I wouldn't say that it wasn't based off of this, but it's more like just a lot of this is also just dinosaur mixed with a shark, dinosaur mixed with a something electric. Just not the same thing. Jet Dragon, this one I just think it's stupid. You can't just be like, that's the same thing. It's obviously way different. It is its own thing. I get that these guys are based off of jets. Maybe I guess you can say the hand shapes, but like it's got back paws, it's got the plain tail, it's got the okay. I guess these guys also kind of have this jet thing, but this one is just more polished in my opinion. I like Jet Dragon more than these two combined, honestly. Even though these are iconic. And I played a game where you caught like stuff with spin tops on Pokemon. Got Pokemon with like a spin top. You had to draw stuff to summon these guys. They're part of my childhood for sure. But like Jet Dragon is just so cool, and once you catch him in Palworld, it's so awesome. And that's another thing about Palworld, right? That's so different to Pokemon games. Or like I haven't played Pokemon Legend of Arceus, so maybe not. Is where you can fly up to this fella at the start of the game if you can get to him. Throw like a 1% ball at him and potentially catch him. I don't know, because that's what I did in my playthrough, and that shit, it's just awesome. It's just so cool, so cool. Once again, way different. Just look at them, just way different. And the sheep as well. This one's just a sheep. Like, let's be real. Like you can't be like, oh dude, we made a sheep. Oh, you made a sheep type character, bruh. Like I'm surprised they're not saying that this guy's also a duck guy. Whatever. This here, okay, so I actually looked into this because I kind of did at first. I was like, okay, bro, I see this. Now, the type of vibes we get here, right? This guy's obviously like wind majestic. I'm pretty sure you ride him. Kind of looks like he can double jump, maybe run on water. I don't remember what he can do. He is probably a double jumper, I'm assuming. Now, based off of looking at this guy, I was just like, okay, this guy's probably the same thing. He's not though. This guy is a steel fighting type, uh, which is so weird. But then, like after you look at that and find that out, it makes sense. Like you can see it in his face. And then once again, once you then look at that, you realize how different these two are, right? Like this is a deer that is obviously wind based. This is like, he's got like, I don't know. I just started hating this design. Like I hate the paws now. I hate like the shiny because he's obviously made out of metal. I hate the head. My first Pokemon game was Pokemon Black 2. And that and Soul Silver, I got them together, but I finished Pokemon Black 2 first. So this is one of the legendaries, I'm pretty sure, in that game. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure it's the three horse fellas, the green one, the big bulkier one, and then this one. And I never knew that he was fighting metal or fighting steel. But yeah, instantly started hating this design afterwards. Instantly. After finding that out. I thought I just hate all of this now. This whole like, I don't know, it's just terrible. This one is so nice and majestic. This one is like this is what you want to run in to, like in a magical world. You're like, oh my god, if I saw this thing like, you know, running through the air or whatever, I'd be like, oh my god. You know, like the legendary line Pokemon, I forgot what they're called. And I would have said like, if you compare those ones to this, because I think that's more what inspired this, is like one of those lion Pokemon than this guy here. But it is what it is. It is what it is. This is a super basic idea, and like the Pokemon version of this is just ultra basic. It is literally just a long neck dinosaur with a flower on it. Once again, they didn't like, it's a basic idea either way. It's a long neck dinosaur with a flower on it. Would I say that this inspired it? Big chance. I'm not gonna say that there's no fucking way that this didn't inspire that. But plant-based like dinosaurs have been a thing. I think there's different types of ones. I don't know if Pokemon has other ones as well. But yeah, it's got a different hairdo, like they say here, hairdo. It's different flower. Obviously, this one's in 3D, so it's a bit more. It just looks better. Not looks better. It just looks a bit more polished, and then it has a leaf tail. So yeah, I hate the feet on this thing though. I hate these feet. I don't know why they went with these feet. But you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. I think they bring up another Pokemon that I would have actually said this looks more like, and I would have been more valuable with that one. This here, this is not what the Pokemon looks like. So this is just a fan-made version of the Pokemon. Let's really see. Delpulse. See, so this is the Pokemon they're trying to say it is. It obviously doesn't look like that. This is their own thing. And like putting a fox in a rope is not unique either. This is not something phenomenal that Palworld came up with. And this design is very basic. Like they could have done better, in my opinion. They could have made this thing bigger, made it cooler. I mean, it's still cool, but you know. I also like a lot of the pals that they're showing here, like this one. These aren't really the pals that you're playing for. I guess this one is. You know, like this is a starter one. A lot of them, like, okay, Jet Dragon obviously is one that sells. But a lot of these that I feel like they're showing are not really ones that you're like, oh yeah, this is what I'm playing Palworld for. You're kind of playing it for those unique ones. Like this Blaze Hell, like some of their more unique big ones that they have just look so awesome. And they give me more Bakugan vibes than Pokemon vibes. Like they go into like a bit more of a serious style. They're cooler pals. Anyways. Cremus, which they're saying is Eevee. He's obviously based off of Cream or something, this little fella. Both of these are kind of just a pug that doesn't have a pug face to me. Like you get fluffy pugs like these. Like I don't know, bro. I don't think that these are like unique ideas. Like obviously Eevee's a very loved Pokemon. I just don't think that Eevee is a phenomenal, crazy idea, like something unique like Pikachu. You know what I mean? It just isn't. Um, like for example, the Pokemon that I really like are stuff that you don't see. They're not really based off something like Scizor, right? Scissor to me is just such a cool, unique looking Pokemon. I love stuff like that. So like if you're doing like a little dog thing, yeah. Yeah, and he just looks way different as well. You just can't. Like I said, copyright is it protects your expression, it protects Eevee, but if you go make Cremis, it's not the same thing. Like this Daydream, I love Daydream, for example. The Presso, just stuff that's kind of like your own thing. It's not really based off of something. Like obviously some stuff that are based off stuff like wolves and lions, da da da, can look very cool. Fire wolf, blah blah blah. Fox, a kitsune, that stuff is sick. But like I just like if you're trying to like be like, yeah, they copied my version of a fluffy dog, I just get out of here. Get out of here, bro. This one is funny because of how many comparisons they make. Now, once again, like I said earlier, the way that copyright works, this is your expression of it. You can take this. I cannot take this and make my water version of this, and it is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. The main thing is obviously it's the same species type of a thing. The feet is a dead giveaway. The pants is what people are complaining about. But once again, it's pants, bruh. It's their own design. It's their own different design. Um, they both suck in my opinion. I do not like either of these. Both of these games could do without these. And like my favorite Pokemon is Tepic Emboar. You know, my boy Emboar. Not the best looking Pokemon either. Like I don't have the best taste. I don't like these. Um and this is why I find this funny, is because they're like, okay, that I could see. Oh, but also it has this guy's ears. No, it doesn't. You can't say, oh, I made ears that are shaped like a leaf. That's my idea. That is such a broad idea. And that's not just your idea. Anybody could do this, do their own version of this. And it's not the same ear at all. Like that's just ridiculous. It's not the same ear at all. It just isn't. And then we go even further. Oh, and he has this guy's mane. Okay, bro. That is so basic. Like, come on, bro. Get over yourself. Like, these are such stretches. It goes from like, yeah, I agree this is kind of a copy, to like, what the fuck are you on about for 2 slides on the same guy? It's just hilarious. This person has the same treatment and also equally as funny. This is a snake, bro. I can make a snake and make it so many different colors and call it a different species and blah 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 blah. And that's real life as well. All the snakes kind of look the same. They got different patterns and colors. They've got different names and different prices attached to them if you want to own them. So this is just a miss. This is just a stretch. This is way different. And this is the Pokemon that I said is like that long neck thing, has like these type of things on it, but obviously they're just plant motifs. You can't really claim that as well. It's just something that's like, oh, it's a plant. So then the next one is this over here, which obviously this is a snake, this is a seal. Once again, also if they did make a seal that, I want to make the seal the same. If I made a seal, I'd try and avoid theirs. But that's like, even if they knew that this existed, like I didn't know this thing existed until I saw this. But they're being like the hair, it copies the hair, which doesn't. And that's hair. You can't. Unfortunately for you, you cannot copyright a hairstyle. It's too broad. It's too broad of a thing, you know. And it's such a thing that it's a style at the end of the day. That's like being like, oh, I put a hoodie in my game first, and now no one else can put a hoodie in the game. That's just not how it works. Unfortunately, or not fortunately for all game devs. This one is, I think, also a similar thing. It's like, oh, the flower on the head. Why not just put Venusaur here as well then, bro? Like, it has a flower on it, right? It's just so different. These are just way different. This is a dinosaur thing. This is a dancer. I really like this design, by the way. I love this Pokemon design. I've never used this Pokemon or seen it really in a game. I don't know if I have. I don't know if it's in the ones that I've played. I don't know if it's in Silver or Black. Didn't catch my eye. I don't remember it, but I love this design. And then matching up to this guy again, which once again, it's a different dinosaur. Here's those green motifs that I was talking about as well. But that's just plant motifs. They're pretty broad. Body shape. This one I kind of agreed with. I disagree with this, disagree with that. This one I kind of see, but then also this is just a very basic body shape. I'm sorry, it's just not that rare of a body shape to like be like, oh, they could have probably made this without even knowing about this. This one is way off once again. This is so different. Like these two are just not the same thing at all. Please don't like. I don't understand. Um, Once again, way different. Different types of flowers, different vibe, different energy, different everything. Like it's just this here is furry territory in my opinion. I think furries have had this type of a design for ages, and yeah, it's very similar to this. This is obviously like a gag by these people. They put it on number 69, Lavender. It chases humans. It's just a gag on this character, making it like, in my opinion, it's basically just like a furry thing. Both of these games can do without this character. But and like this is just a weird thing. Mewtwo's thick legs to point out. I don't know, and that's I don't know. I ain't defending that one. That one they should have just not made that one. And then these are way different. I think I missed one somewhere where they're trying to be like, oh yeah, it had this thing's eyes. Oh, I don't know where I missed that. Oh yeah, this one. This one is just, it has the same eyes, bro. Oh my god. Anyways, that's that. That's that for this video. Holy fuck, how long is this recording? It feels like it's like 30 minutes long. A 51-minute recording. I'll have to edit that shit. But hey, it's done. We recorded it. I hope the audio and everything is fine. And even if it's not, it's just my voice, so who cares? I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is my first attempt at a video like this. Kind of just going fucking sicko mode. Trying to explain the patterns and stuff, and like, why is my head twisting all weird? I don't know what my character's been doing. I do apologize, fellas. I used to have a different like app for my character that worked very well, and yeah, they shut that down like ages ago, and I've just never really gotten a replacement. It's like, how can I explain it? It's like I don't have a good comparison. It's like if you rode a very nice car and it's cheap on fuel, and then all of a sudden now you gotta, you know, drive a bicycle, and it's like ride a bicycle or whatever. It's just like you don't want it. You're just like, I don't want to use this thing that is harder to use. I need to have 2 programs open for the same result. It's just like, fuck it. Nah. Sorry. So yeah. I finished this on May 20th, but I'll probably upload this in like 2 days. See ya.